Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Well, anyway,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. Yes,
since you
and
guys are
hello everyone. Welcome to another adventure in Orland. We have with us a cavalcade of our normal players. We have one person listening in and one who came to say hello, who we have not heard from in a minute due to things going on in real life, because as we say here on the server, IRL
Real-life
first.
characters.
Take care of yourself and everything you need to do before worrying about the game. Anyways, with that, I would like to take a moment to say if you are looking for a new table or you just need a table to play at, you are more than welcome to come join us here on the Haven. And if live games aren't your thing, we have forum based RP as well. We have games running pretty much every night of the week. On Tuesdays, we also have our approved player game, where if you support us on Patreon at the approved player level, you get your own game dedicated to you once a week. With that, I would like to introduce our players this evening. As always, our Grand Vizier of Fuckery, Mr. Tormy. Hello. And yes, that nickname is going to stay. We have the investigator extraordinaire who does not need to give the obligatory 40 passive investigation warning this evening, Serby.
Insert obligatory statement here.
We have with us the ever lovely Duchess, who her character has been undergoing a lot of revelations lately.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
And
some shittery.
Homebrew Guru. Got it, Tormy. I still like Grand Vizier of Fuckery, but Homebrew Guru works as well.
He's also Artificer Legend.
There's that too. And as our final player this evening, we have Mr. Excitement himself, Fenris. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? OG Werewolf here to have some fun.
Insert obligatory statement here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And as
You'll
you
find
all,
out harder.
as you all are aware, we have our buddy Andy listening in to see if he might be the next one to join our cavalcade of nonsense that we get up to.
Be the next victim. I mean, partner.
And for however long he decides to stay tonight, we have our other table DM slash minstrel of doom, I guess. Not exactly
Motherfucker.
sure.
I don't know. I don't know that I claim the minstrel of doom.
Dutchy seems to disagree a little bit. But we
Minstrel of
have with
Doom, Beard
us
of Fire.
Mr. Jeb. Welcome to all of you. Now,
And
we begin. Back
And
in.
as you
ahead.
begin, I am just gonna say I am dipping out. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I look forward to listening to it as soon as Fishy gets it posted.
Yes. You have a good evening, my friend.
Yep.
Night, man.
You guys as well.
bye.
Bye.
Boy.
Now, as I was saying, we begin in Silvaria at the inn, I believe is where you guys are.
Tavern.
Some.
Yes,
Tavern.
some of you are at the tavern. One of you is at the headquarters of the order.
Oh, that's right. Wait,
being
I thought she came back and joined us at the end.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
no, we left her standing in the
Oh,
middle of the order after having received a lovely little visit from everyone's, well, not so much everyone's anymore, favorite god, Pathos, giving her a
Grandpa.
key, which acts as the invitation to his island, where none may enter except by his permission. So,
Or his daughters.
Mm.
by right of association, yes. Anyways,
Technically, it's their island too.
only by associate Adventures of a Grumpy Pathological. I love it. Anyways,
Oh.
we're going to go and start with the party. You guys are at the inn, the tavern, whatever you want to call it. What has everyone been up to
How much
since
time has passed?
we're gonna say 2 days.
Okay. So, in helping out in the morning or the afternoon rush, night rush, um, Thorin would you spend his mornings doing just random um quests from the Hunter's Hall, which acts as somewhat of an adventurers guild in Silvaria,
Fair.
helping them establish that. And then at night, he will do hunting to supply food for the tavern for the next day.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
I was
Go on,
painting the
Joker.
building. That would probably take a couple days.
Mm.
I've been Willy Wonka-ing with inanimate objects to get everything else done while I am actually just continuously casting mend to fix everything and repair and maintain.
Fair enough.
But my broom of flying has been cleaning up. Picker has been getting um help from Alistair to do the beds. The Spitter has been helping keep the stoves and hearth lit so that less fuel had to be used. And there have just been at random points three coins that have been running around doing small things like folding napkins, bussing tables, and the like.
Alrighty. As you guys are, going about your task, doing what it is needs done, folding the napkins with your coins, I guess. Um,
This establishment has never had origami swans until tonight, or until we re-arrived.
Samara, how do you feel knowing your inn and your tavern now have origami swans?
I mean, she's gonna be far less cranky, so everything is gonna be amazing.
Excellent. Far
Think
less
they-
Clean,
cranky
fixed, painted.
now that she's gotten a break from everything.
Yep.
As you guys are doing all of this, Junker, I need an Arcana check.
That is a 32.
Okay. Who is the next most magically inclined of the that is present?
Are you
Drakery.
talking about like Arcana?
Yes, we're talking Arcana.
Junker,
Um,
Drakery, Saravine, Thorin.
I've
So
only got
Hold
a
he
on
plus
though.
5.
Hold on. Hold on, because Samara's there. And I gotta go see what she is. I don't remember because I haven't
Oh, there you go.
played
I
a team with her for a
that
while.
is a fair point. I don't have her sheet anywhere on my screens.
Oh, give me a
I've
minute.
only got a plus 5 in Arcana.
mine's 8.
That'd be higher if I put proficiency in it, but I didn't.
Samara is missing. Did she get archived?
She might have. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I don't see her. We
Did
lost
you
her.
have her plugged into one of the campaigns?
I don't remember. I thought I had her as an NPC.
Oh, let me get there.
I think.
Is she not in your character list?
Nope.
Um,
That would be sad times.
well, also considered the fact that uh might have no, she's not a part of the NPC thing. Did you actually make a character sheet for her, or did you only make a bot for her for the thing?
I don't remember. It's been so
I
long.
don't think you made a character for her because she was just meant to be an RP NPC.
Maybe. I thought I did because I had the whole storyline for her, but maybe not. It doesn't matter. I thought she was a sorcerer, but I don't remember, so we can just skip it. I can't do a check anyway, so.
So I guess you need me to roll some dice.
Yep, I need that Arcana.
Nope, I'm not Arcana inclined. I'm just nature inclined.
He needs that arcana. He needs that arcana.
19.
Okay, so you both feel it. As you guys are going about your things, doing what it is you need to do, you both get a very strong sensation as you can feel the pulse of magic spread across the land. Not strong enough to, do anything, but strong enough to alert you to it happening.
Anybody else taste lavender?
Did someone forget to cast Mending again?
I will cast mending on your mouth.
I don't taste lavender. Why do you ask?
Well, there's a lot more. There was a very large wave of magic.
Do you
Okay,
think it was the veil falling?
1 sec. I'm gonna step outside the back and take to the skies 90 feet straight up.
Okay.
And I'm going to look around. Do I notice anything different with a 40 passive perception?
I'm trying to think how far out we made the inn and tavern from the tower.
Oh, it's gonna be a little bit of a ways because of
The tower is right
just
on the edge
forest
of.
in between.
There's forest in between, and the tower is right on the edge of the coastline.
Hmm.
How high on the tower did this come from? Because you might still be able to see a pinprick of something.
Well, considering the tower is nothing but a pile of rubble.
Hmm.
Depending how tall it was to begin with, that pile of rubble might still peek out over the forest.
Fair point. I'm still gonna say no. You don't notice anything from where you are in town. At least not at 90 feet.
I'll go higher.
How much higher?
Till I clear the tops by my view.
All I got was robot. I heard two clear.
Really?
Knob,
Mhm.
knob, knob.
Okay, so I'm gonna fly up high
Yes.
enough that I clear the tree lines and visual of most of the surrounding areas. Because if I'm not mistaken, the coastline cliff that the tower was on was at a slight incline.
It was, yes.
So I can see damn near all of the area that is within, because they mentioned the veil, and that would be something protected by the veil. So I'm gonna go up to see most of where the veil would be protecting the land and
Right.
scan it.
What's your passive perception again?
40.
Okay. So, as you fly higher and higher, eventually you clear the tree line, and you're high enough that as you scan, the sun, which is just now starting to climb the sky, is casting a pale golden light over everything. The waters of the ocean sparkle, almost as if it is a sea of sapphires. You almost miss it. But as you're scanning, your eyes glance over the cliff tops where the tower, where Alar's tower once stood. And you see it. Pale blue light hovering towards the ground. Based on what you know of magic and your own knowledge, you can only assume that that's where the wave of magic energy originated from.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, with that, I am going to drop back down to the tavern, enter back. There's a faint blue light at where the tower once stood. If I'm to be a guessing man, that's where your wave came from.
Surely Lily Vey is already on that, right?
Mm,
Lily would have felt it by virtue of how close she was to it.
right. So I don't know if it would be Lily, but definitely it would be Eve.
Mm.
Lily is not going to feel something like that and leave the baby.
Yep. Okay.
And even if he didn't feel it, Fenris would be shoring up defenses after being told that something like that was felt. So he's not leaving either.
Well,
But
keep
they
in mind,
they might send messengers for other potent people that they know happen to be in the area.
Well, and I was going to say, keep in mind, you didn't feel any malice, any
Mhm.
negativity coming from this way. So, while yes, you obviously have your characters react how they would react, but it's not a negative malice intent being
Right.
felt behind it. It's just there.
I'm gonna say Eve would have been the one to be like, I'm gonna go see what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Because that's a little too close.
She'll have a pack of wolves with her.
Okay. And what are you guys doing?
I'm putting out the call for all of my shit to come back to me.
Orn grabs his gear, straps it on, throws the coat on, grabs the hat. Tomorrow we'll be back in a little while.
I'm assuming Saravine would have felt that.
Yes.
So then she would have been.
If she didn't, we would have radioed her. Only because I don't know how the different space with the order works.
If
Sar-
we can, if we're still on the same dimension, the same plane, we can talk.
Yeah, it's just a shielded. Think TARDIS technology. Bigger on the inside.
Okay.
So same plane, same dimension, just time and or not time, but just space magic compressing all of this into one tiny building. Which is an active flower shop, by the way, if none of you remember.
Yeah,
Hey, Ken.
Saravine's going to head back to the tavern to try to look for the others.
She'd probably catch us right as we were all walking out.
Yep. As you leave, though, give us a quick glimpse into what Aravine is feeling right now. What's her emotional state like at essentially being told the rest of your family wants to meet you?
Um, she's obviously curious and wants to go, but she also is still like, I need to deal with the fact that I've been lied to and abandoned, and I gotta shake that off before, we have a cookout.
Fair.
So she's kind of in
As
between.
as you leave the order's headquarters and you make it to the tavern and run into the other members of your party. How are you interacting?
I'm gonna kind of look over to Junker and be like, "Did you feel that?"
Hey, we're on the way to go find out what the fuck.
Well, then let's go. Let's go. What the fuck? I'm getting really good at what the fuck.
Let's go, what the fuck. If that is not an apt description for the majority of these games, I don't know what.
There's 4 of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Yeah,
Unless you count the pets.
Oh no, the pets are fine.
we will say the rest of your party members decided that it'd be easier for you guys to go while they stay behind and help finishing up or help finish up.
Or
See how
protect the
this
town.
Yeah.
runs for us. Okay. That was pretty cool. That's not terrible. Oh, that 2 out of 3 might have worked. I gotta check on the third thing really quickly. Um,
And what is it you're doing?
fuck, it didn't work. The third one didn't work. Well, there is, as they're all getting ready to set off, Thorin reaches into a bag and throws 3 furry balls on the ground.
And
There is instantly 2 giant elk and a giant badger.
a giant badger. What are you gonna do? Eat some wood? Oh wait, that's a beaver. All right.
You guys want rides?
My
All
my broom goes up the back of my coat and starts taking me.
Perfect. Drackery and Serving, you guys can ride one of the giant elks apiece, and the badger will carry your animals. If you don't want them in the coat.
Just got actually the badger can take into the coat and it will be out of one of the sleeves and Alistair will be out the other sleeve. So just their heads are
And
Ready for
Thor
action.
will go with the group via wings. Just so you all aware, those three animals are yours to command for the duration. He's giving them to you for the 8 hours that they're alive.
Lovely. Alrighty, so you guys head out. Takes you about 20 minutes.
I was not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping I'd roll a boar and see Junker on the back of a boar.
It takes you about 20 minutes to get to the edge of the forest line leading to the tower. Dutchy,
Mm.
would they see Eve already there?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she's going through the trees. She's not gonna.
Right. Well, as the party approaches, Lady Eve, the grand Duchess of all, sees you.
Well, as she hears something approaching, she immediately shifts into a mammoth.
Where's Ariel when you need her? Still one of my favorite moments from a game is Ariel riding a mammoth, leading the charge.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. Your party is now staring down a mammoth.
Uh,
Thorin?
he with his perception, would he have seen her shift before she shifted?
Did Eve shift the moment she came out of a tree, or
No, she would have already have been there for at least 15 minutes. So I'm gonna say that it was as soon as she heard anything approach.
Okay, so then Thorin, yes, because of your skills as a hunter, and the fact that you know exactly where it is you're going, so you're just constantly scanning around you for, anything. Yes, you would have seen her shift.
Okay. So as he breaks the tree line, he lands in front of the group. His wings go out at full length to stop the approach and then fold in behind him. And he'll give a low bow, removing his hat, showing he's not a threat.
She will shift back. Thorin, good to see you.
You as well, Your Grace.
I'm assuming that you all felt the surge.
You're mighty kind, but the rest of my group did. I'm just following along.
Hmm.
I'm
Would
just following along. They're magical Leoplaritons. They're gonna show us the way.
Okay. Butter.
what would Eve have seen at this point?
As she got there, and she would have seen the same thing that Fenris had seen when he visited the tower earlier today.
And I hadn't had a chance because I had been moving around since I got home. After I stopped RPing. After he sent the missives or sent the messages to the Vale, and they sent the missives, he would have told everybody in the manor what was at the tower and what to expect, and that it wasn't, in his opinion, threatening, and it just wanted to be left alone until somebody decided it was time to go back home.
Would he have described the creature to them?
Yes. He's not going to let somebody just wander upon it without, if he's got that knowledge, that's his business. He's going to share that with those who are most important to him and those
Okay,
who
well,
it might potentially affect.
Eve would have seen the creature there. For the rest of you, as you are approaching, you see it also, as its eyes never leave any of you. It doesn't blink, nothing. And what you're looking at is a cross between a young dragon wormling and a fox. And it's blue. With a little fluffy tail and everything.
So Eve's going to look at the group and say, approach with caution. No threats, no weapons. And then she's just going to study the creature a little bit because, anomaly. And then she'll kind of study the area around the creature.
Anybody else?
And Junker, has he ever heard a story about one of these before?
Give me a history check.
Um, have I ever read anything about any creature like this?
Give me a history check at advantage.
I'm actually going to use one of my uh where is it? One of my flash geniuses to tip this even further. 32.
Okay.
25.
Okay. Junker. You have heard stories of certain creatures born of the weave, but yet not a part of it. That their creation isn't owed to any particular god or creature or entity. But when they are created and born, it's usually for a very specific task. Whether that task be protecting a town, providing guidance to an individual, or even guarding the way to the afterlife. You don't know what this creature's job is, but looking at it, how it's almost ethereal, not quite solid, but not quite intangible. You can tell this is one of those creatures. Drackery,
Yep.
you have read so many books in your time at the Everest Manor. At first, nothing about this creature seems familiar to you. But as its eyes are watching the group, you catch a flicker of its tail. And you see it's tipped with silver. And all of a sudden, it floods back to you. This is a spirit guardian. What do you guys do next?
Spirit Guardian here?
Would Seraphine have read anything about these?
Did you spend any significant amount of time in the Everest library?
No, but she has in the Orders library.
You are very much correct. That is right. Give me your history check.
Junker has
Okay.
just started vibrating and smiling.
You better go see your woman, man.
Yes.
Thorin
Ooh, I
stands
like
back up,
history.
put his hat back on, just watching.
Not 20.
Shit.
You, with your score, you know exactly what this creature is, and even one step further than everyone else because it was a critical success. Go ahead and give me one more history check at advantage.
Okay. Wow, my new dice are so sharp they actually pierced the case and got stuck to it.
Oof.
So 22.
In your time reading the Order's books, you have learned essentially all there is to know about the spirit guardians, and that there was one spirit guardian in particular that very, very seldomly ever left their realm. And you also see that silver tip on their tail. and you immediately recognize this spirit guardian as Unara, the guardian of the Well of Souls. And question, what circle is Eve a part?
Moon. So it's the same as Lily's.
Right.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm going in. If I can get my freaking thing to work.
Sorry about that.
All good, bud.
Archduchess, there she is. Yeah, Circle of the Moon.
Okay. Odds or evens?
Even.
Eve being as powerful and as knowledgeable as a of a druid as she is, would immediately recognize this creature as well. I straight up just rolled a d20 and I was like, odds, no, evens, yes.
Yeah, well, she also would have known coming because Thenris would have told her the creature's name
Mm-hmm.
when he was telling her what
Right.
happened. So,
Yeah.
which would be another reason why she was like, nobody approach and nobody threaten. Okay.
Dunker, what are you?
Saravine is
doing?
going to be extremely concerned.
Okay.
Have the others shared vocally about Spirit Guardian, what it's here for, that type of stuff?
I
You're
said
definitely
a
sorry.
spirit guardian here.
Yep. And you're definitely going to see that Seravine's got a what the fuck look on her face.
I just found out my fucking grandfather is the creator of all things. My father is the jackass, the big ball of donkey ass that wants to destroy everything. My brother was sent to kill me, and now this. The fuck?
In this case, it's just a flat out. Forget all that other shit. It's just a flat out what the fuck. Like, why is
What's going on?
Unara here? This
Yeah.
cannot be good. Like, she's got a very what the fuck. This ain't good.
As you are all, you know, having these recognitions and things and just looking, there, Unara's eyes haven't left your group. They haven't blinked. They're just watching. Tail waving ever so slightly in the distance. The wings kind of unfurling and stretching a bit and then folding back in as her head rests upon her hand as she lays down amongst the rubble.
Eve's gonna kind
Is
of look over at her and just say, "Was that surge of energy from you?"
You okay there, Tormy?
Yep.
Okay, what were you gonna do?
I was going to say in Draconic, what brings you here?
Okay, so in typical fashion, a la any psychic type Pokemon that can speak, you hear their voice, not inside your head, but out loud. But their mouth doesn't move or anything. To Eve, Nara just says it was. My apologies, I did not mean to alarm. And then turns to look at you, Junker. To answer your question, Weaveborn, I simply am.
Can we ask what you're here to do?
Mhm.
I am not here to do anything. As I've told the others who have saw fit to visit me here, I simply went to sleep in my realm, and when I awoke, here I was. I have no tasks. I have no need.
Do you wish to go back?
I do, but it will happen in time. When
Mm.
whichever god or goddess saw fit to bring me here decides that it is the time for me to return, so shall it be.
Saravine's eyes widen more.
Who would have summoned them here?
Um,
Well, there's
um,
only like 5 that
pardon.
we know that would
Excuse
be a
me.
bad thing.
Pardon.
Yes,
If I may,
child.
Ulara, do you have any
Unara.
insight into what God might have brought you here? Is there any kind of energies that you felt, or is there anything that would give you any inclination? It's important.
We can think of a handful that may have called you for nefarious purpose.
Well, rest assured, whomsoever it was that brought me here, their purpose for doing so is not of ill intent.
So you do know.
Unfortunately, I do not. As I said, I was sleeping, and when I awoke, I was here. But what I
Well,
can tell you is there are only a handful of deities strong enough to transport me to another realm without my
well,
knowledge or consent.
well, see, that's kind of the problem. There's a god now that is kind of that powerful, and he's killing other gods. So
Don't forget the crazy one.
he might be trying to kill you.
There's also Elar. Elar.
I'm unfamiliar with that name. Is he a deity here as well?
No, he's the one tower that you're sleeping on.
He's a
Annoying.
mortal. He's a mortal that has lasted a ridiculously long time. And is arguably one of the most potent mortals to ever sling a spell.
But he is mortal, correct?
Aye,
Then
but
it
he's
could not
torn
have been
holes.
him.
He has torn holes in the spaces between.
You you misunderstand. No matter how powerful he is as a mortal, He cannot bind, nor can he command me.
No, but we've got we know that he has connections to the god that is trying to murder other gods and unseat even Pathos.
I see. Well, as I said, rest assured, all will be well.
Just kind of curious. What happens to the well that you guard if you were to die?
You just had to put that out there, didn't you?
Different question.
Yes.
How can you guard your well if you're here?
Allow me to explain.
Please.
First, to answer your question, should I die, the well will simply be transferred to another guardian.
Mm,
As far as how I can guard my well, if I am here, I am the well, and the well is me.
mm,
So over the table, not so much be worried about this, wary of this creature, but we're wary of the reasons why somebody would have brought them here. Got you.
I just love Dutchie's like just increasing noises of I don't know if this was a good idea.
I don't like this.
Well,
You might find it to be mortal um, irrationality, but considering the many things that have happened as of late here in the mortal realm, not to insult, but we are not going to rest assured until you are home safe.
especially not with Vidar and Stara on the loose.
That's the other thing. Astara has. I don't know if they were ever on the deep end, but they've certainly gone off the deep end.
Wanna be little pixie bitch.
I see. So she is free at last.
You're familiar with her.
Thank you. You have provided me with some clarity and understanding as to why I am no longer in my realm.
I don't like that.
And yes, I am very familiar with Istara.
Good terms or bad?
Are you friends with the pixie bitch?
I wouldn't necessarily say friends, but we are acquaintances.
That she pissed you off too?
No,
Oh, that's too bad.
you see, and as Unara starts to form her sentence, I need everyone to give me an insight check.
I make these with advantage.
Sawawa?
Said I make this with advantage.
Ah,
22.
I got half that.
I have a 28.
Serb.
27.
You know
You
what?
all-
Just so that we have somebody over 30, flash of genius, I'm giving it to Thorin.
Okay.
+4.
Fair.
Yeah, 32.
Fair. You all only needed a 10, so
Oh. Oh well.
it works.
This is a above. This is a entity level creature. I'm not.
This
I'm not
Mhm.
playing games.
It's either that or I use guidance and bump it even more.
I could have also done that.
Anyways, as Unara begins to describe their relationship with the wannabe pixie bitch, that is Istara. You all
Fall asleep.
no, you all see and hear in their voice a twinge of not necessarily panic, but anxiety. Unara just looks at all of you. How familiar are you with how Istara came to be?
We've met creation.
Ah,
They
then
met
that
creation.
then that makes this simple. As the guardian of the Well of Souls, my task is to keep the well from Istar, as it is the last bit, the last portion of her power.
Junker finally stops vibrating.
Going back to my
I
earlier
don't like
question.
this.
Going back to the earlier question I proposed, is there another guardian already set up in case your fall is to come about?
There is not. A guardian cannot be chosen by any but the weave itself.
She looks at Junker. What if it's somebody that's part of the weave?
If the
What if
weave,
it's somebody who's destined, according to several deities, to reestablish the Weaveborn?
I see. Two,
I just realized that mm, I see the direction of it and I don't like it.
if it is something the weave decides, it will happen. Even Lord Pathos has no say over the weave.
So, call it plain curiosity, if you will. But if you are meant to keep the well from Istara, what is there a process that she'd have to go through in order to get it from you?
She would simply have to reabsorb me into herself.
Which I'm guessing is something that you can resist.
If I must,
You must.
That's a big must. She's not right in the head, if she was.
don't get me
I don't,
wrong.
I don't
I
want to have
have
to age an entire year for that.
don't get me wrong. I have no feelings on the matter either. It was a task I was given, and it is a task I carry out. I am to keep the well from her, and so, to the best of my ability, I shall. And as Unara continues to explain things to you, you see her tail has slowly stopped swishing and is now curled around her. And her eyes remain ever focused on your party.
Dracry's head is now on a swivel.
Is there a way that we can get you back to your plane and away from here? This is not a safe space for you.
I appreciate your concern. But as far as I am aware, and holding true to what I said earlier, no mortal can bind or command me.
She gets a little uncomfortable and goes, "What if it's someone that's not totally mortal?"
I mean, there's one of us here who seems to have a pocket deity.
Then she's gonna kind of tilt her head. Am I still mortal?
There are. We have made connections, is the best way I can put it. We've made connections with several beings that are no longer technically mortal. Time will never touch them again.
By mortal, I mean anything that is not a god.
That's a much shorter list.
I mean, yes, but there is still those that have seemed fit to choose us.
Technically,
Some holding greater power than others. As he looks to Saravine and to Junker.
technically, technically, somebody that I'm very close to is an echo of deific power, but is still in themselves technically a god. Because of a
Um,
mistake that was made eons ago.
Oh? And who might you be referring to?
Do you know why there are so few of my kind left?
When your kind cease to exist, they come to me, child.
I know.
I am very much aware.
You know of the ritual.
I do.
You know of the one time it was successfully used,
I
and the
see.
participants did not die,
They returned the power.
and as a gift they were granted other.
I see.
I
Well,
don't believe you would have anything to fear from her, but if it has happened before where a mortal has become a god, there is precedent. And
I
we
see.
are smart enough to not be foolish enough to think that we know every big player out there on this field.
I see. Well, if it will help put your minds at ease, bring whomever it is, and we shall see.
So, are you contacting Elia or?
Junker has pretty much stopped moving. There's only like chest rise and fall at this moment.
Okay. What about the rest of you? What are you all thinking?
Dracry looks over at Saravine. Can't you just call Grandpa?
That's what I was thinking as well, but um,
Um, one minor thought to that. Um, does do we feel that that would be inviting
mm,
confrontation, seeing as he shares some sort of a link with Astara?
I'm also concerned about having the two of them together in the same spot at the same time.
Yeah, that might not be the best idea.
I mean, it's not a direct contact, but I, Junker, if you don't want to involve Elia, I can make a slight sacrifice and see if I can get somebody here.
I I
I
don't
kind of want that to
know.
happen.
I don't know what level, what potent deity called them here. And if it works the way that it sounds, only somebody of only if they or someone stronger can put them back.
Seraphine's gonna hop on the elk. I'll be back. And she's gonna take off.
I
Unara
thought
just kind of tilts her head a bit.
my thought would be that if the well, since the well holds the other portion of Astara's power, if there is some sort of grand play to return that to Istara, we know for a fact that Istara has some connection to Vidar because we saw her in the bottom of the castle in Ultax when we got Philly
I
back. I can only assume that it was either her or Vidar who pulled Lunara here.
Unara interrupts you and goes, "That would have been impossible. As I said, whoever pulled me here has no ill intent. The weave made that so. It is impossible for any deity, if they harbor ill intent, to summon me."
You said earlier you had other visitors.
That I have.
Who were they?
One was the lord of this manor, and I believe the other was a god. He certainly did not have the aura of a mortal. Or, at the very least, one I would hold any sway over once their existence had ceased.
What?
Bulls.
Right. Deities don't necessarily. They don't. I'm assuming they don't cycle the same way.
You are correct.
How long is it going to take Saravine to get back to the order?
About 30 minutes. 20 minutes back to the tavern, and then about 10 minutes from there.
Okay. She's going back to the order and pulling out the key.
Okay. So as you get to the order, we're gonna take a moment and shift the scene to Saravine. You get to the order, you take out the key. What are you planning to do?
I can't safely bring Grandpa to me, so I'm going to Grandpa.
Okay. You go up to the door he pointed out. And as you open it, the scene that greets you is a small little cottage. Quaint, simple wood construction. A little fire going in the hearth. And curled up in a chair is a small cat. And sitting across from it is a ruby skinned looking human. And as you walk in, he notices you and he goes, "Oh, hello. You must be Sarah V. Welcome."
Think I still am. Should I know you?
"Oh, I imagine not. I haven't exactly been alive for the last couple eons. Well, couple thousand years. I forget your I forget. The mortal's concept of time is different."
Um, is Pathos here?
Father is not in at the moment.
Of course you are.
Of course I
Hello,
am
Uncle.
what, my dear?
Another family member I didn't know about.
Ah, yes. You figured me out.
I mean, once you said father, that just.
Ah, I see. So it was a how do you say a slip of the tongue? I believe. I'm still getting used to the common vernacular. Forgive me. Allow me to introduce myself. He stands, gives a little bow, and upon rising, he says, "I am Sardio. Pleasure."
And I am Reese. Seravine.
It is lovely to meet you. Now, as I said, Father isn't here at the moment, but what is it I could help you with?
Well, we've run into a situation, and
Oh,
I came for, well, his guidance, but also to give him warning, though I'm not sure he needs warning, but all the same. It's concerning, and well, he's not here, which is also concerning.
Sardior just holds up his hand in a one moment, and he says, "My dear, you seem to have a lot on your mind. Care to vent? I found lately that expressing oneself is quite freeing. I
Wonder
mean,
who he could have learned that from.
I mean, up until oh, 2 months ago, I was living inside a lake.
Hmm. Oh, there's so much to express and not enough time. Are you aware of Inara?
I
Well, she's here.
I see.
And I'm sure you know all about the whole Istara nonsense.
Oh, more than I would like.
Well, I'm concerned that her being here has something to do with the little pixie bitch.
I see. Well, let's go solve the issue then, shall we? And he before you get the chance to lead him through that door you just came through, he grabs you by the hand, guides you outside, and as you're exiting the cabin, you see the beach, the sparkling white sand, sparkling blue waters, just kind of calmly flowing. And he leaves you at the door to the cabin, and he says, and you see him crack his neck, and he goes, "I haven't gotten to do this in quite a long time. This'll be fun." And then he stops and looks at you and goes, "Before we go, we're not going to a heavily populated area, are we?"
Um, I mean,
And before you can finish your thought, he just goes, "Eh, go get used to it." And as he finishes talking, you see him turn into a massive ruby dragon. And you hear, "Climb on."
she'll poke her skin, and then poke his scales, and then poke her skin again. And do I inherit that?
He just looks and he goes, "I don't believe so. You see, I'm naturally a dragon. So unless you are as well, which Wouldn't be the first time. Let's just chalk it up to we'll find out. And as he does that, you feel the tip of his wing kind of just slide under your feet and like
Pop me up.
pop you into the air as you like land on him. Sort of like landing into a horse's saddle. And whoosh, he takes off into the air. And you just hear inside your head, kind of muffled, even though it doesn't have to be, because, direct telepathy, but kind of muffled as if mimicking, talking over the air rushing by you. So where are we going?
Silvaria? Where the tower
Got it.
once stood?
Understood. And as soon as he says that, you feel him pick up speed.
I'm having a never ending story moment.
Yeah.
You're gonna see all the fun shit.
Close your eyes.
Oh God.
Oh, now I have that scene from Stranger Things in my head.
That's what you get, motherfucker.
Yep, that's what I get for doing that to myself. Anyways, about 5 minutes pass, and you see Silvaria under you. Not like close enough to where you can like accurately make out people in a crowd, but just enough to where you can see you and you can see them and they can see you on a dragon. And some people are freaking. But he just goes, "That's not the first time. Hopefully they don't start shooting at me." And he just keeps going.
Fenris is standing at the window of his study, shaking his head. How am I gonna explain this one?
I mean, the wormlings have been flying around the area. Surely they
Okay, but
Well, they,
being
I
wouldn't be
think, already met
super alarmed.
Sardior too, so they would know.
well, the townspeople haven't. And
No, but Fenris would.
oh yeah, no, Fenris is well aware who Sardior is. I think he was saying, how is he going to explain it to the people in the town?
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if the people in the town are used to the wormlings flying around, who don't have control of their size, Sardior does, and he's also about the size of a house. So that they freak out a little bit. You okay over there, buddy?
Yep.
Okay, good. Anyways, he gets to the tower area and boom as he lands. And then he lets you, Saravine, slide off of him. And he turns back into his humanoid form. And he just walks over to you and claps you on the back. And he goes, "That was fun. I haven't been able to do that in quite a long time. Thank you for coming over."
That was better than the elk.
By the way, now there's a random elk just grazing in front of the flower shop.
Yep, pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
Eating the flowers that are on sale.
The shop owner's just like, where did she go?
Thorin looks over. That's not your grandpa.
No, it's my uncle.
Oh. Okay.
It,
I love the sound of resignation in his voice.
And which one are you?
He just looks at you and he goes, "I'm Sardior, god of neutrality." Hello.
Oh, okay. Hello. Makes
He notices Junker just kind of staring at him, and he just goes,
She's
Don't
gonna
look
like
at
shrug her. Sorry. Go ahead.
don't look at you too hard. Got it.
Sorry, Vika's gonna like shrug her shoulders. My family's just weird. It just keeps getting weirder.
I can honestly say I don't have that problem.
As far as you know, I didn't have that problem 6 weeks ago either.
Sardior just looks at you and he goes, "Oh, just wait until you meet my brother,
Oh no, there's another.
Bahamut, god of order."
Oh, I'm related to Bahamut. Of course I am. Mm-hmm.
Technically adopted brother too.
You could say that, yes.
Brother-in-law.
I mean, after all, my sister's husband did take over the title, did take the domain, so he would. Yes.
Brother in more ways than one. Don't think too hard on this.
You see Sardior just kind of go, Anyways, walks over to Nara and on seeing him just kind of bows her head a bit and says, "My lord, it's a wonder to see you again." And Sardior just goes, "Right back at you, Foxface. How you been?" If
Oh,
you
he's
have,
that kind of uncle.
if you haven't figured it out, he has not a care in the world since being brought back. He's just like, he was so intent on following and maintaining his domain that now he's just like, you know what? I died once. I could die again. Nah, I don't care.
YOLO.
Uh, well, I mean, YOLO doesn't really apply here. This is life number 2.
Yalt.
Hey, there you go.
YOLO.
Instead of being
You only
drinking
live
buddy
once.
uncle.
Again.
YOLOa. Anyways, Unara just nods her head and Sardier looks at everybody and he's like, "All right, so what is it you're wanting me to do here?"
She needs to go home. I'm
Oh.
afraid that Elar and Vidar and Istara are going to use her to reabsorb Istara's
Sure, yes.
essence.
Do you happen to know who might have brought her here?
Sardier just kind of tilts his head and goes, "Huh. Nope, not a clue. However, I can
Worth it.
find out for you."
Yes, please.
He then
There's gonna be some sort of
takes
trace
a
around
minute.
here.
He takes a minute, looks at Unara. Unara just looks back, and Sardier then stops and goes, "How do you not know who brought her here? You're the one that did it."
Who?
Ooh.
"Him." He points at Junker.
Servine's gonna look at him. What'd you do?
Thorin's rubbing his temples. Like,
I've been cleaning for several days, and then this happened. How did I do it?
Sardier just shrugs his shoulders and he says, I don't know, but your energy all over her.
Servine looks back. What'd you do?
I cleaned and repaired an inn. That's all I did. That's all I've been doing for 3 days.
I thought a mortal couldn't bind her or control her. Oh, my head.
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna poke
Wait
Junker.
a
Are you
second.
mortal?
Wait a sec. Wait a second. Wait a second.
She just keeps poking at him.
Looks up at the god. Am I still mortal?
I was fixing to ask which god you're related to now.
She's gonna look back.
He
No,
basically shagged the god.
no.
She's
There's two things. One, there is somebody who he is in a romantic relationship with that is a god who did the ritual to do the thing, and inadvertently he did the thing mechanically.
And what's the second
Oh.
option?
Also, time shenanigans is always an option with you. So
I mean, you also did take the full brunt of that fucking crystal, so.
yep.
yeah, I did that, and then I took all of that energy and I mechanically fixed it so that I wasn't holding it. That
Basically,
wasn't that wasn't ritualistic. That was a mechanical version of it. Looks back at the
So
dragon. Am I still mortal?
Seraphine's gonna stop poking him for a second. Look up at Sardier and go, "Is he related to us now?" And then she'll go back and poke him again.
Everyone at home, I hope you enjoy our shenanigans as much as I do. Sardior then looks at you and he goes, I don't know. Let's find out. And he takes one claw and just pokes you in the forehead and then pulls it away and looks. Huh.
Pulls his claw away, not my forehead, right?
Yes, pulls his claw away, not your forehead.
Open Junker up like a
earning,
Gotta
fucking
make,
tum
gotta
tum.
make sense. Gotta
you're,
make sure.
you're earning the Grand Vizier of fuckery tonight.
He looks at his claw, and as you look at it, you can see a single drop of pure azure blue blood. He goes, huh. I don't know if you know this, but aren't you mortals supposed to bleed red?
Well, they say royalty's
Most
blue blooded.
most usually I bleed some weird rainbow thing. Like some colors are missing, but it's like
But it's
flowing.
multiple colors at once?
Aye,
Ha, 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 ha. I'm going to look to Junker and use a divine sense.
Tell me again what divine sense does?
Anything affected by the hollow spell or the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. We've used it for
your senses go crazy.
oh
There's-
ow.
Yeah.
It's an instant migraine. Oh, fuck.
Sardi are standing right next to you.
Exactly. I was
And then
like,
wouldn't
A
Saravine
demigod.
technically set it off too?
yes. Yeah, a demigod would technically set it off if you have divine blood. But yeah, I was like, oh, you've got a full god standing next to you.
No.
Oh, I'm messing with you.
He kind of just puts his hand over the one side to block Sardior and looks back at Junker.
um, as you know kind of block Sardior from your sight, it the intensity dulls. And what color do you see magic?
As Thorin? hmm. It would have. Outside of the nature base, it would probably be purple.
Okay. That is the color Junker is to you right now. As your divine sense just backs down
Probably,
to a dull roar.
probably
look
more
over-
intense around the cracks that are still in his skin.
Yes.
He looks over from looking at Junker to Saravine to see if it's the same intensity or if it's brighter on one more than the other.
Looking at Saravine, it's a bit more intense.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for interrupting you, Sardior. You go ahead.
But he's just still standing there, looking at the single drop of blood that's sitting on his claw. And like his whole hand became like a dragon's claw, dragon's hand as well. Like so, it's literally human dragon hand.
Yeah, partial
Uh,
transformation.
Yeah. And he's just looking at it and he goes, "Huh, that's nifty. You're not a god, but you're not mortal either." Hmm. Looks
Ugh.
looks around and he just looks at you, Thorin, and he just kind of reaches over and just wipes his claw on your shirt and he goes, ah, better. Turns his hand back into a normal human hand. You look confused. Oh, you look confused. Please don't bombard me with a bunch of questions I'm pretty sure I don't have the answer to.
No. You can ask them. Confusion is a good thing for me. I just need time to think.
Okay.
Dracry looks over at Saravine. Your uncle is a dragon? As he's finally processed that piece of information.
She looks
You've
back
been
at him.
standing here for 20 minutes talking and you're just like, he's a dragon?
She's gonna look back at him and kind of like give him a lopsided look and just go, "Is it bad that that's the one that shocked me the least?"
Thorin shuts off divine sense.
It's a good idea.
Oh, you three are glowing. Ouch. Okay.
I,
Mm.
Sardior turns to Dracry and he goes, you look even more confused than he does.
mm,
Anyways. Yeah, I can get her home. And then he just stops for a minute, looks at Unara again, and goes, "Wait." Looks back to Junker. Back to Unara. And you just see him keep doing that for about 2 minutes. And then he looks at you, Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks to Thorin and Drackery and Junker. And he goes, "You all have a problem."
You've
Several.
got more than one. You're gonna have to clarify.
Add it to the list.
He looks to Unara, who then looks up. And you all see Unara's eyes go wide. Oh,
Oh,
that's unexpected.
Oh, great. What's unexpected?
I'm no longer connected to the well.
What the?
what do you mean?
Unara just looks at you, Junker, dead in the eyes. You are.
Well, son of a bitch.
uh,
30 minutes ago, I said I didn't like the way this looked like it was going.
half a day ago, you were the one thing on your most thing on your mind was probably when you were gonna see Elia again. Now you gotta fucking deal with this shit. We gotta deal with this shit. Oh god.
Slowly
Alana.
turns to Thorin. There's even more reason for you to keep me alive now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make sure you don't take that fucking ring off.
Unara
Alana.
then Unara then just goes, "You need to tell them, my lord." And you see Sardior just kind of rub the bridge of his nose.
No, no, we don't do that in this family. Every time somebody in this family does that, it's bad.
He looks to Junker and he goes, "I don't think you quite comprehend what that means exactly."
And why don't you enlighten him? Because nobody has enlightened any of us so far.
So far, the only person who has actually told me anything straight is now my girlfriend. So, please tell me anything straight. No, that's not me hitting on you. That's me asking you to tell me something and not lay a minefield of clues and riddles.
I assume all of you know of the non interference rule my father put forth.
Aye, he's mentioned it
I am the
dozens of
god.
times.
I am the god of neutrality. As long as I do not physically interfere, that rule doesn't apply to me.
No, thank God. One that
Wait,
can actually explain something without having to worry about some sort of backlash.
He might be my favorite uncle.
He claps his hands together and points at Junker. And as he does so, you see him shift from the ruby skinned human to a ruby skinned weaveborn of about Junker's size. And that looks exactly like Junker. He goes, "This is you." And then he turns back into his human form and he goes, "You die, this, and he points to himself, and then he points to all of your friends, and the ground, and the sky, and everything, and he says, goes away. You have, in effect, become the weave.
So you just basically made Tormy the Apocalypse.
He tried a couple sessions ago.
Oh my god. Okay.
He Sardior then turns to the rest of you. He goes, "You need to keep him alive, whatever the cost."
That's my job.
Excuse me, Uncle.
Yes.
Any chance you've got a spare room back where you're living?
The cottage?
He doesn't take up much space. He just needs one little bed.
How big an attack can you throw at me right now? As he reaches his arm in and then back out with that glowy glove.
The glowing glove. I don't like where you're gonna take this, but I kind of want to see what happens anyway.
I was gonna say,
So,
you him a weave, but you gotta go.
go, go, go. Robot, robot.
The way that he just worded a thing means a different thing can be done, and I'm going to word it to him right after I either get a no or an attack.
Sardior just kind of looks and he goes,
I'll be right
"Okay,
back."
I'm not. Got it. I'm not sure what you're planning to do here, but okay." He walks to the edge of the cliff, swan dives off of it, and then you just see the massive dragon at his true size, the size of about 3 mountains.
Just kind of playing peekaboo over the cliffside.
No, he's like full on flight into the air. And as he rounds and faces Junker, he opens his maw and just unleashes a torrent of divinely infused energy in a breath weapon at you.
And takes the charge into the machine and starts spitting out clone pods.
Before you do, I need a constitution save for your machine. And I hope it's high.
So do I. Okay. Would you say that my coat affects it or no?
Affects it how?
The the save boost.
I mean, it's technically inside your coat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll affect it.
Okay. 34.
As your machine takes in all of this energy, Are you able to hear things going on inside your coat?
Mm.
Technically, here, I'll give you a perception check. 24.
You hear grinding and creaking. And you hear a small dragon's of terror.
And the attack is over. And be right back. And he falls into his coat.
As you fall into your coat, the scene before you is the entropy engine is glowing red hot. You can see cracks starting to form along it. Alster is hiding behind one of the lodestones, just absolutely freaked out. And then you hear it. As your machine shuts down.
Rude.
You rolled
What?
a 34.
And it was a 35.
It was a 36.
Can I have used another flash of genius?
I have already called out
I'd-
what happens.
That's fair.
That's mending.
As Junker falls into his coat, you guys see the dragon just shrink and shrink and shrink until he lands and turns back into his humanoid form, and he goes, "I killed him, didn't I?"
No, no, you didn't kill him.
He didn't see him fall into. He's just like, I mean, we're not erased from existence yet, so I'm assuming I didn't, but
You're good. He went into his coat. He does
oh,
that on occasion. You're fine.
extra dimensional space.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Junker, your machine is broken.
That's mending.
That means I can make it better.
Oh, God.
If you can find the materials to fix
I have a couple of leads.
it.
And by that I mean keys. Last time I
Okay.
didn't last time I didn't have ley line clusters to work with. Now I have a way to truly anchor all of the power.
Fair.
And you're technically the weave itself.
Yep. I was going for a thing to help make it so that there was less of a problem about me specifically dying. And this is just a pit stop now. I need to do a lot of extra work, and then I can start doing it. And then I have to also start traveling and doing a thing.
So, you're in your coat. Your machine has broken. What are you gonna do?
First things first, I am going to uh quickly, or now that it is shut down and not immediately active, I am going to walk over, poke it, and cast Dispel Magic to make all of the magic that is cascading right now dissipate.
Okay, give me an Arcana roll.
$32.
Most of it dissipates, but you're still just enough.
Okay. Going to bring the still over and start draining the remaining excess off into those potions.
Which potions?
You get a level 1 spell slot back. The ones that I did when
right. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
when the
When you were saving the town and everything over in Silmar and
yeah, the ley line uh the ley line shot bar.
yeah. All right.
Just so
You,
that
you
there's no heavy amount that is still left churning in the machine while it's off.
as
Once
you do
that
this,
is yep.
and you're pouring this magic into these vials and everything, they all start to crack. I'm making you work for your fuckery tonight.
I mean, yep. Um
Orland is just pacing outside.
Sardior just kind of leans over to you, Thorin, and he goes, "Is he normally in there this long?"
Sometimes longer. I'm just
he's going
running
to
a few
Is he
thoughts in my
okay?
head. He's probably busy with his machines. Just
he's going to
I'm
start
just running
pouring cure
thoughts.
wounds after cure wounds into himself while starting to down the drinks so that they don't break everything.
Okay.
I know. This is going to backfire in the most spectacular way.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell it. Hello, Inari. Welcome to
Hello, Moto.
the fun. Okay, I'm going to tell you the DC for this because you're taking pure divine energy into yourself.
Yep.
You have become the weave in the sense that you're essentially its representative avatar thing, but you're not indestructible.
Welcome
I
to the
know.
finale of this campaign.
Yeah, and
and
it's just Junker doing shots. Um,
and just like that, the world ended. Well, hey, if the world ends, better to go out drunk, right? Then at least you'll.
Don't drink in magic, people. Don't drink in magic.
I have a question. I have a
Yes.
question before we do any rolls. I have a spell
Okay.
that would aid him, and I do not have to see him. Can I use it?
You'll have to go into the coat with him.
I'm fine with that. All I gotta do is poke my head in for that.
No, you'll have to fully go into the coat with
I was actually fixing to say, do you want to go check on him?
him because of the divine magic would interfere massively. I was about to say magically, and I was like, well, no shit, it's magic.
Okay. Fine. I can go into the coat with him.
Okay.
Drop off any of your shit that's gonna matter.
Well, yes, obviously.
Well, yeah, and the bag of
Saravine
holding.
Saravine will get his bag of holding. As I go in there, are you okay?
As you step into the coat, are you wearing the cloak?
At this point, yes. Because we weren't sure what we were going to go up against.
I need a con save
Mm-hmm.
and a strength check. Straight strength from you. The con save
Mm-hmm.
is at disadvantage.
You
Okay.
still have the +7.
Okay.
Before you tell me the roll,
Okay.
your DC is a 38.
A 38?
The cloak is not happy.
Okay.
Even if you fail one of the saves or one of the checks, whatever you want to call them, if you get high enough on the other one, you can still pass. I'm not going to be that mean.
Okay, so at disadvantage on the con save, I rolled in total. You said I get +7, Tormy?
Yep.
That
and
is
and because I
and
haven't announced the outcome, I will let you throw a flash of genius on him as well.
I'm
Can
gonna see how close he gets to it first.
can I also do a thing?
What's the thing?
Guidance?
I'm gonna say
Guidance works on
no.
skills.
I'm gonna say no because you weren't expecting this to happen.
That's right. Guidance does work on spells, not skills, not saving throws. Got you. That's the other one that I have. Okay.
Well,
So 2 at disadvantage, it's a 34.
Flash of Genius up 4. You're at 38.
And the strength
Hmm.
check was a nat 20 for 25.
Okay. You
My
managed to
my disadvantage roll was 2 fucking 12s, okay? I'm like, okay, whatever.
you manage to suppress the cloak's will and are able to resist it pulling with all of its power you out of this jacket.
As I see the scene before me and Junker and I'm resisting this cloak, I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's bad. Bless.
Oh, okay.
Tormy, and I'm gonna also bless myself because I'm the only other one in this room, and I'm gonna bless I think I can do 3. Let me check real quick.
I believe
3.
base is 3.
So it is me, Junker, and Alistair.
Okay.
All can add a D4 to any saving throw made.
Okay. Fair enough. Tormy, your turn. Now, I do need a little clarification. is bless for the duration.
Plus, is a concentration check for a minute.
For a minute, and whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack
Right.
roll or saving throw. It does not say that the spell ends after they use that. It is concentration for a minute. So
Yeah,
the way
if
it's played
if it's concentration for a minute, then yeah, he gets that plus that
While you
d4
are
with
doing this
every
for a
roll.
second.
Okay. But yeah, he'll get that d4 with every roll.
right. I was going to do the other thing, but the other thing doesn't work on saving throws, and I want to make sure. I never realized how fucking nice it is to have a spell like that.
Right.
I don't play casters very often, like full casters.
I'm glad you went in because I would have never even been able to make that roll.
Yeah, that's
Sorry
fucking
about that.
stupid.
All good, buddy.
All
All
right,
right. So,
got this, Tori.
how many cure wounds potions did you? Okay. You've got 4 rolls. That's what we'll say the number of vials that you were pouring the magic in.
The first one I can literally not roll higher. 42. Natural 20.
The first one succeeds, regardless of DC, which is good. Your next one is another con save. Your DC is a 40.
I
Be
get to
aware.
39.
Be aware. If you fail any of these, it adds a penalty that I roll on a D6. And we take that number away. So, what's your roll?
The next.
Also, I'm gonna also because I just remembered this. Is this considered a magical effect?
I mean, it's divine energy, so yes, but no.
I have a. If it is considered a magical effect, or um, my new weapon gives creatures within 10 feet of me, which I would be at this point, advantage on saving throws.
Which weapon is that?
The Holy Avenger Split Axe.
Oh yeah, that. Okay. Um, I'll allow it.
They have advantage against saving throws, on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. That's another nat 20.
What was it if I had said no?
If he had said no, I would have been one off
Oof.
before throwing my last flash of genius at it.
Fair enough. Okay. Your second roll, or well, third roll, I should say, is also a 40.
21.
Um,
30. That is one short flash of genius. I'm gonna burn my last one, getting me to my last one save.
Okay. Now, because this is the last roll, your penalty, well, not your penalty, but because you've already downed 3 of these vials, I'm rolling a d6. And that number
Okay.
comes off of it right out the gate. That's a 3. So you have advantage. Your DC is still a 40.
And you have that extra D4. Don't forget it.
I just rolled it. So 22.
Seraphine's gonna look at Sardier and go, "You don't have like an evil twin that you cast in there, did you?"
Sardior just
Thank you.
shrugs and says, "No."
Thank you for advantage. Mainly because with that -3, if I did not roll a 20, I could not have made it.
You rolled another nat 20.
Listen, all of my other rolls that have not been on the high end have been like 2 and 3. So like
Mm.
So let me get this straight. You rolled 3 nat 20s. You lucky son of a bitch.
My record is 6 in a row.
Oh, poor me. I'm over here sweating for you, my man.
listen, I was looking at all of my magic items going like, what can possibly give me another bonus?
Same here.
Any of this.
Same here.
I'm glad I made you nervous. I'm glad I made you nervous. Now, you've passed all of your rolls. I need one final con save. The DC for this is much lower. It's only a 26.
Rolled that 5.
19 plus 18 is more than enough.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
You get away with this with only a level of permanent exhaustion that can only be fixed by divine intervention or a wish spell.
Now know Zachriel's pain.
What are you doing?
Okay. Next step. Walk over to a small chest, pull out some meat, and feed it to the dragon.
Gotta feed the dragon. He was freaking out.
Step 3. Let's step. Can someone pull us out?
I'll reach in and pull y'all out.
Purposely, before this, I didn't put out the stones.
Right.
Didn't know how much of a shit show that was going to be, but it was literally going to be this at the very end.
As they pull you out, the cracks that had formed on you from the crystal
Hmm.
have gotten wider.
It almost completely worked. But it didn't. And I still managed to get around the cataclysmic failure.
Sardior
So,
tilts his head
not
at you.
not going to try that again for quite some time. I need to do some improvements to my machine and repair my machine.
You broke the machine.
As
I also drank the rest of the power.
Oh.
Sardior's face
As
just
he
kind of goes blank.
as he pulls down the sleeve and shows the cracks that are probably just like rainbows of energy going through the now wider chasms in his skin.
I wonder how much brighter his energy is now.
Thorin comes out,
I-
gets pulled out. He just kind of rubs his temples, shakes his head, goes and gets his bag from Saravine.
Thank you. Sorry, fixing it.
It's good. It's good. I'm just glad you're safe. Oh, that was
Also,
You
I don't know if the ring works this way, but I'm sorry about the hangover you're gonna have in the morning.
uh the
you
As he just lays down.
you drank my magic
The leftovers.
Oh.
and you lived. Impressive.
I can feel my liver hurting.
Well,
My
Seravine's gonna
kidneys are
go over
trying.
and try to cast healing on him.
he starts to feel a little better.
Jackery reaches up and removes his necklace and hands it to Junker. You may want this.
Which necklace?
Periaptive wound closure.
It's not that these are. I'll hold on to it, but I don't know if it'll do anything.
It'll keep you from going to
As you
zero.
all are talking,
Oh.
Sardior just kind of stops, turns his head to the forest, and looks back at all of you and says, "You all need to leave now."
She kind of looks back up at him. I left my ride at the church. The order.
Kind
Why?
of just drunkenly cranes his neck up. We all have rides wherever we want.
Use them. Go quickly. And before, well, not before, but the next thing that happens, you hear a small little giggle.
Oh, fuck no.
No, gone.
Teleport.
Hold on. Not yet. But you hear the small little giggle. And you just hear the voice. This is where you all are. And that, my friends, is
Lutheran.
where we're going to call it for the. Thank you all for playing. Thank you, Junker, for providing us with the entertainment and the sweating of bullets. I,
God.
I I hope you all had fun. And for those of you watching at home, I hope you enjoyed it as much as. For those of you looking for a new table, looking for a table, come join the Haven, join the games, enjoy your time with us. 'Cause we're certainly looking forward to having you. On behalf of all of my players and myself, I have been your guide for the evening, the Haven Master. And may the dice be ever in your favor. Good
No.
night.
Bye.